A very warm welcome in the class of Mathematics 1 in the module of Integral Calculus. Today our topic is evolutes and involutes. This topic will be distributed in two classes. So the first class is evolutes and involutes 1, and consequently we are going to take the next class on evolutes and involutes. It will be named as 2. Myself Rupak Bhattacharjee, Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics, JIS College of Engineering. We do have some prerequisites for this particular class, and they are, first of all, the idea on curves. So we need two ideas on curves specifically. First one is technical idea, that the expressions, the algebraic forms, the parametric forms of the curves. But the next one is most important from my point of view, that the representation of this curve, what we can visualize, because when we are going to identify the meaning of evolutes and involutes, before that, if the meaning of curves and their presentation is not clear, then it will not be of use. Secondly, already you have come through this particular class on curvature, its properties, its interpretation, and the terms, that radius of curvature, center of curvature, all these are discussed along with the examples. That idea is strongly linked with the idea of evolutes and involutes. Then we need the concept of locus. That means if you have a point which is moving under some restriction, the track what it is generating is called the locus of that point. You can think about the locus of Halley's comet. You can identify or think about the locus of the ball hit by Virat Kohli and which went to the boundary, and we are able to see in the wagon wheel that the projection view of that particular, or the path what is following, it is also the locus. And similarly, you can have the locus of a given point with some restriction which creates some curves. So these ideas are very much important for this class. Now please look at the diagram very cautiously. You can take 1 or 2 minutes of time when you are going to watch this particular thing. What is going on here? There are two curves. Actually there are three curves. First one is the blue one, which is fixed. We are seeing 2 points, one is black and another one is red. The black point is moving along with the blue curve, and there is a circle which is growing bigger, then growing smaller, then diminishes, and then again the same thing is going on. Now those who have attended the last class, they are very much acquainted with this circle. This circle is nothing but the osculating circle of this blue curve. So when we are taking, or when we are thinking about a point here or here, you will see that this osculating circle is completely diminished. After that, when the point is here, then there is a small circle, and then there is a big circle, then there is a big circle, and in this way there is a biggest circle at this position, then the circle is growing smaller and diminishes. And this situation is happening throughout here, then throughout here, then throughout here. So this is the first elaboration. Now the second observation which is important in this structure is that when you are looking at the circle at any point, suppose now we come here and then we will start this particular discussion. You please follow the center of that circle. Starting from here, the center is going, then the center is moving, then the center is coming here, then again here, and then again coming to here, and newly the structure is generated. So this red line is nothing but the locus of the center of this osculating circle. So if you follow this osculating circle, and this green line, this green perpendicular is nothing but the radius of this circle, so we can call it as the radius of curvature. And when you are tracking the red point which is generating the red line, that is the center of the osculating circle, then the locus what you are getting, it is generated by the red line, and you are seeing a shape like this. Okay, look at the red shape and look at the green shape. The green shape is also almost same like this. It is a very bad diagram, I know that, but that is why I have presented this picture, so that you can realize the 100% perfect thing what is going on over here. Now if this story is clear to you what is exhibited here, then the remaining part of this class is very easy. We are giving the term the evolute of what? Of a curve is the locus of all its centers of curvature. That means when you are thinking about this curvature and this curvature is moving, and that means the osculating circle is moving, then the center of the curvature is also moving. That moving point's locus, when we are considering the curve which is newly generated, is called the evolute of the mother curve. So that is to say that when the center of curvature of each point on a curve is drawn, the resultant shape will be the evolute of that curve, like the previous problem when we have dotted lines we have considered about the center of that particular osculating circles, and we are getting some shape like this. Now you are getting another structure, and you can also follow this one. You will get this structure also in the Wikipedia, and this moving structure, you will see that the movement of a black dot on a red shape is creating a blue shape, rather various blue lines, and those blue lines are generating a blue shape. So what is this? In this context we can say that the evolute of a circle is therefore a single point at a center. Firstly I am going to discuss this point. What they are saying, the evolute of a circle. So if you have a circle, what is the osculating circle of this circle at this point? The same circle. So the center of the osculating circle of the same circle is this point. Now when you are here, your osculating circle is same, so the center is also same. When you are here, your osculating circle is same, so your center is same. In this way, when you are here or here, 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 or anywhere on this particular circle, as the osculating circle is same and fixed, the center is also same and fixed, and that is the locus of the center of the osculating circle. So that is the locus of the center of the curvature. So for a circle what we are getting, the evolute is nothing but the single point at its centers. So this point is the evolute of this circle. So the very beautiful observation on circle. Now the diagram is actually matching this one, and evolute is the envelope of the normals to the curve. That means if you are finding out the normals to a curve and you are trying to find out the envelope of those normals, that is nothing but the evolute of this given curve. So if we proceed further, we will get a very beautiful diagram, and this diagram is also taken from Wikipedia. Look at this. It is actually a dynamic presentation of three things. First of all, you are taking this blue structure. This is the expression of cycloid, okay? And then the red one, that means in each and every point of this blue curve, you are drawing the osculating circle, and the osculating circle is in the color red. Now after that, you are tracking the center of that particular osculating circle, and you are finding out the locus of that one. So this green one is nothing but the evolute of this cycloid, because this green one is nothing but the locus of the center of this osculating circle. Now there are some informations taken from Wikipedia. It is a compact information from which you will be able to get this one. There, this C above is not relevant because I have taken it from Wikipedia, but you can go to there and you can check this particular informations. So the evolute of a parabola is nothing but a semi-cubic parabola. The evolute of an ellipse is nothing but a non-symmetric asteroid. That means the structures what you are generating is having these names. Now look at this. There are something where you are getting the evolute of a curve is of same structure of that curve, like asteroid, like cardioid. But already this one is proved that we have made the evolute of a circle which is a center, and here we are showing this the evolute of a cycloid. The name of this green evolute what is generating over here is congruent cycloid, because it is also having the same shape of a cycloid. And this one is very interesting, that evolute of a tractrix is a catenary. I will show you in the later slides. So this is the information to you that if your curve is expressed in dotted lines, the evolute of this curve is given in the solid line. So ellipse is having ellipse evolute, tractrix is having catenary, parabola is having semi-cubical parabola, and deltoid is having deltoid. Look at this. This is the shape of a deltoid, and what you are getting another shape of a deltoid over here, which is the evolute of the previous one, but the shape is same, but the size is bigger. One thing to observe, how to become confident. Obviously you can calculate this, the process is there, but before that visual observation is more important. And if you see that if you place a circle over here, then you will get the center within this point, but when you are coming at this point there will be no circle, but when you are coming at this point the circle will be outside, so center goes out. When you are here, as it is most flattened part of the ellipse, so you will get a bigger circle over there and you will get the center of here. Then you are coming here, circle is becoming smaller and the center is coming here, and in this fashion when you are at this point you will get a circle here whose center is nothing but here. So I am giving you this discussion for this particular ellipse. You can think for this tractrix also, which will generate the catenary. Similarly, you can think for parabola also. Just your job is to what circle we can make here, so that it is having the close two points P1 and P2, which are both on this circle, is a sharp edge. So no circle is possible. So that is why your circle is nothing but a point here, so the center is also here. But when you are here, there is a circle possible. When you are here, there is a circle possible. In this way, you will get the center, and the locus of that center will be a catenary. So moving forward, what we get, the original curve is then said to be the involute of its evolute. Please concentrate on this one. If you get catenary from tractrix, then catenary is your evolute, then this tractrix is your involute. Because if someone asks you that what is the evolute of tractrix, you can say it is catenary. And if someone asks what is the involute of catenary, it is tractrix. It is a very important observation, and I will try to give you some diagram on this particular scenario. But before that, some problems we are going to discuss. This is a property. If the curve gamma is the graph of function y equal to fx, then the coordinates of the center of curvature are expressed in the form eta and neta. So actually it is nothing but this one and this one. This is the coordinate. So if x, y, all these are known, y is equal to fx relationship is known, we can find out y dash, y double dash, and putting them in these expressions we can find out eta and neta, and from this eliminating x and y from these two equations, we will get a relationship between eta and neta. This is going to be the equation of evolute. So let us check. Our job is to find out the evolute of the parabola y equal to x square. So it is y equal to fx form. Now what we are having, this formula is already discussed, that this is the formula for eta and neta. Now as y is equal to x square, y dash means differentiation of y with respect to x is 2x, and y double dash is nothing but 2. So in this y dash position we will write 2x, and in this y double dash position we will write 2. Then y dash will be 2x, and after that simplifying we get this eta is equal to minus 4x cube. Clear? Though here I am showing all the calculations explicitly, but as like my previous classes, I am again requesting all of you that please don't make any gap in doing the calculations by your own hand. Though you know all the formula, though you know all the working rules, it is very important for us to calculate by our own. Maybe the known problem, maybe the problem already given to you. Okay? And in the similar manner, according to the formula, when we are going to find out this neta, then in place of y dash it is substituted, in place of y double dash it is substituted, but here it is y, so y is equal to x square is given, so here we are going to substitute x square. So after simplifying we are getting the relationship between neta and x like this. Now we are trying to find out the locus of eta and eta. So obviously we don't need x in present of that. We need the relationship between eta and eta. So now our job is to eliminate the variable x from these expressions. So how to do that? We can make one expression of x by eta and then we can substitute x in eta or vice versa. It completely depends on the problem, or it completely depends on the calculation, or it completely depends on the person who is doing it. So when we are taking this relationship, we can write that neta minus half is equal to 3x square. So x square is equal to neta by 3 minus 1 by 2 by 3 means 1 by 6. So x is equal to plus minus this to the power half. Why we are doing it? Because now we are trying to substitute this one in the first equation. X will be removed, eta and neta will be connected. So what we see, that eta is equal to minus 4x cube, already we have got it, and then we are substituting in place of x cube. So this one whole to the power 3 will be substituted, this plus minus sign will be coming outside, then neta by 3 minus 1 by 6 whole to the power 3 by 2. After this, if you just complete your problem, you are not actually finishing the whole thing. Why? Because when you are having it is root over sign over there, because power 3 by 2 means nothing but this one whole to the power 3. So the material under this position must be greater than 0, otherwise it will be complex. You have to follow all these small pieces of beauty in mathematics. So look at this. For this particular restriction, this part will be greater than 0. That means neta by 3 minus 1 by 6 will be greater than 0. So neta by 3 will be greater than 1 by 6. And finally we can write that neta is greater than, don't take it as n, it is neta. So equal to greater than 3 by 6 means 1 by 2. So it has to be greater than equal to 0. So it has to be greater than equal to 0. So it is equal to 0 because 0 is the 0 can be also there. So ultimately what we get, neta has to be greater than equal to half what is shown over here. So these small expressions, these small things actually creates a big difference when someone evaluates you. So this is the pictorial diagram of this whole problem. Look at this. This blue line is our y equal to x square parabola. Clear? Our job is to find out the locus of the center of the osculating circles. So when it is here, so there will be a circle like this, whose center is here. After that, when the circle is moving to this direction, the circles becomes smaller, and at this position you will see that it will be a just shift of the direction. After this one, the circle will be coming in this direction, okay, and then it will be in this direction and so on. So what we see, that we are having this red line as the locus of this particular thing, and this red line is the evolute of the parabola y equal to x square. So it is one very important point to observe, that this is the direction of x, this is the direction of y for the blue line. Similarly, this is the direction of eta and this is the direction of neta for the red line. So in a same space we are representing the curve as well as its evolutes. So I think this problem is clear. All the problems are of stereotype, but your visualization has to be crystal clear. So what we get, that the discussion of this particular problem is almost done. We are now going to give you the assignments, and the assignments are of this form. You have to cover both the classes to give all the answers, and obviously this descriptive problem you can solve by the discussion what we have made today. So this problem you can solve, and then you can go for this one also. And finally we are going to mention the references from where this material is generated. You can go to there and you can also check other problems. I want to conclude here this class. Looking for the next class of Evolute and Involute part 2. So thank you all. Happy listening, happy learning.